Welcome in, everyone, to our New Year's Day Fox 55 Sports Special. So as we kick off the year 2025, we're going to take one more look back at some of the teams who had the best moments in this past calendar year. So I'm Drew Fry. I'm joined by Maggie Castraba, and we've got David Tillmans on the other side as well. And tonight we're going to finish our game that we started yesterday. Maggie, take it away.
Okay. All right. We're taking a trip down memory lane with some of the best performing teams of 2024. And to highlight each one, we're hosting a little draft. Yesterday, we selected our first round picks, and today we're going to continue on.
Yeah, so if you, like you said, if you missed it yesterday, this is the best teams of 2024 draft from around our region in Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio. We select our teams. We go over who, or I should say, what makes those teams and these seasons so special. I'll go ahead and get into it. Last night, I was able to pick a national champion, and for my first pick in the second round, I'm going to go with another national champion, the Indiana Wesleyan volleyball team, and I'll try and keep this brief because I feel like I could talk at length about this team. They're coming off an undefeated national championship season last year, and they had a bit of a rocky start this year, a couple of losses to ranked opponents, but they quickly righted the ship. They reeled off 34 straight wins. All of their conference games were decided in either 3 or 4 sets. They beat Grace College in the Crossroads League tournament, ending their NAIA campaign. And you may remember they competed for a national championship of their own in the National Christian Colleges Association. And all of this culminated in a great comeback victory against Bellevue in the championship for their second straight national title. They're far and away the best NAIA volleyball team over the last 2 years.
Yeah, so David, you've got 2 champions already on the college level. I know earlier Maggie and I both took high school football teams. I'm going to stick back in the high school range, but I'm going for our first high school basketball state champions. I'm going to take the Canterbury boys, marking them off my list now. They pulled off their first ever state title in 1A, led by John Parent, who had a 22-point double-double in the title game. Talk about big performances. This Canterbury team finished with 19 wins on the season. They won in overtime to get to the quarterfinals, won it by 3 in the semifinals, won by 7 in the title game. So they just knew how to win and how to get it done in those close moments. They actually opened the season losing 7 of their first 9 last season. So not always the best start, but a lot of those were against bigger schools. And to overcome that adversity, win 12 of 13 starting in February to become the first ever Canterbury squad to win a state title. What a run by them.
That was special. I'm sticking local as well, and I'm going to pick, for my second pick, Carroll Girls Volleyball. And so this was their first ever championship win. What a special team, because there was only one senior, Chloe Hirschberger, the lone senior. And so for everyone to return next year and possibly a repeat, I mean, they've had such a great year, 33-3 on the year, and they beat out their rival Homestead in 5, a 5-set thriller for the regional title. And so that was another one that I got a front row seat to really see just the magic kind of unfold. I was lucky enough to go down to Muncie and watch that all unfold and have them grab championship hardware. So to finally get it done, and especially for the lone senior Chloe, she was very emotional, all the emotions running high, and to finally get that title and bring that championship hardware back to Carroll, the emotions and just the magic was crazy from like that last week. So yeah.
And so that's the end of our round 2, but we're going to keep going. Round 3, round 4. Maggie, you get back-to-back picks. Who's your round 3? Oh, my gosh.
Okay. The anticipation.
Big moment.
I am going Bishop Luers football. So, again, sticking local. 2A last year, they snagged the title. Now they're up in Class 3A. They finished Class 3A runner-up, but what a season yet again for head coach Kyle Lindsay. 12th season at the helm, and he's won at least one playoff game every year. So the Knights, it really looked like kind of, I mean, a dismal season. I mean, they weren't playing their best football near the end of the regular season, but they really pulled through postseason play. That was quite magical to see.
Pick it up when it matters the most.
Yeah, exactly. They got it done, winning those games when it mattered most, and so it was such a wet, muddy game. I remember that against Garrett when they took down the Railroaders and to advance on, and so that was magical. First year, new class, and to make it down to Indy. So yeah. Going with them.
Well, speaking of winners, I'm now going to diversify my picks a little bit.
All right.
Staying at the high school level, but I'm going over to the wrestling mats. I'm taking the New Haven girls wrestling team. Now, we're in a bit of an odd spot here because this upcoming season is going to be the first time IHSAA is going to have its varsity wrestling meets in the same way that a lot of these other varsity sports are played out. But the girls still competing for the championship and winning their first team title, led by the Ocampo sisters, who both picked up state title wins themselves. We've got Juliana, the upperclassman, picking up the individual win. Her younger sister, the freshman Isabel Ocampo, coming up with a win in her debut season as a New Haven Bulldog. And then Olivia Bodie and Heaven Gardner finishing in 3rd and 4th in their individuals for the New Haven girls to really just step up and show that this is a team that you're going to have to look out for here in this debut season of the state tournament, in the same way that we're used to seeing a lot of these state tournaments. So I'm going to go to the mat and pick the New Haven girls wrestling squad for my round 3.
Yeah. I will keep it going. I know, Maggie, you picked the Bishop Luers football team.
Yes.
I'm going to pick the Knights girls basketball team, another winner from the Knights this year, similar to we talked about Canterbury. They kind of got off to a rocky start, 7-5, I believe, at one point, and then at the turn of the new year, they reeled off 12 of 13 wins,
Wow.
finished the season 20-6, their first state title at the 2A level in 12 years. And for head coach Mark Pixley, that's how he bowed out. He finished 10 seasons, 130 wins. He went out with a state championship. They won all of those tournament games by 12 points or more, so, or I should say an average of 12 points. So really a dominant run through the postseason to get that state title. Congratulations to the girls, and a great conclusion to Coach Pixley's tenure over at Bishop Luers.
Yeah, incredible. And then that leaves us to round 4 now. David, we're going the Serpentine style. You got one more pick. Who you taking?
I'm going to stick with the girls basketball realm. I'm going to go with Norwell's girls basketball
Another
team.
great squad.
From the 3A. They made it to the state championship, played Gibson Southern, a very hard-fought game. Fell by 3 points, but throughout the season, they were a very dominant squad. 23-5, they won their playoff games by an average of 25 points. So, I mean, that just goes to talk about how dominant this team was. And head coach Eric Thornton, he was named the IBCA Coach of the Year. Just domination from Norwell. It continued into this year. Nearly came up with a state title just 3 points away.
What an incredible run from them. All right, so for my last pick here, I'm going back to the football field. I'm surprised that this team has made it to me, the Warsaw Tigers, with the runner-up finish in state. But it's not even just making to the state title game. This is Warsaw's first ever regional win. It's their first ever semi-state win. They finish as the Class 5A runner-up, as they've just built this dominant championship run, and as they even made it there in the playoffs. They ended up ending multiple seasons for teams that were previously undefeated. They then take down the Class 5A number 1, Class 5A number 2, and Class 5A number 3 along the way to the championship game. Drew Sullivan just leading that team from the QB position, both the rushing and the passing attack. This was their most wins in a season since the year 2001.
Wow.
And just being able to be out there on the field for some of those games, being able to talk to the coach, and just be able to be in that community, you could just see how much that matters. I mean, Coach was even saying this is Warsaw Community Schools. This is about the community and the wider region of just everyone who plays football and has played football for that school. Just such an incredible moment for that area, and it was just so much fun to watch them as they made it to that title game.
Absolutely. All right.
Final pick, Maggie.
I think I saved the best for last.
Okay.
All these were great picks.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a great list here, but I'm going to mark up my 4th pick with the 2A state runner-up for boys soccer, which is sticking local, Concordia. Boys soccer runner-up. It was their 2nd title game appearance ever. The last time that they were down for that game was back in 2017 up against Evansville Memorial, and then flash forward to just this last season up against them again. So can they finally get the job done? But they fell short, actually 2-0 shutout fashion, exactly how they lost actually back in 2017. But what a season it was for them. They started off the playoff game taking down Bishop Luers first round of the playoffs, and they were kind of leading the season. They were pretty a dominant team, a team that was beating them 2 weeks prior to that. But what a season for those boys, and just to make it down officially for the championship game. I mean, that just, how successful. I mean, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Hats off to them.
What a season for them.
Absolutely.
And what a draft for us. This was all champions or runners-up. Every team on this list had made it to a championship game, and that now brings us to the end of our draft. That was the top teams of 2024 determined by our Fox 55 panel right here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. These results are going to be up online as well, so tell us which of these teams you think looked the best, which of our teams of teams looked the best. In the meantime, I'm Drew Fry alongside Maggie Kostrava, David Tillmans. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you later in the year.